I was shocked. My friend August Dupin, known for his sharp mind and amazing powers of observation, had surprised me again. He had already uncovered so much about the terrible Rue Morgue murders that it seemed there was little mystery left. But the biggest question remained: who was the killer? Dupin had invited someone to our home, someone he believed had the answer to this question. While we waited for this person to arrive, Dupin began piecing together more clues from the crime. "Let's think about the room and what we know," Dupin began. "We have a strength greater than any human, a wildness that is less than human, a murder with no clear reason, horror beyond human understanding, and finally, a voice that spoke no recognizable language." A chill ran down my spine. "A madman, Dupin! It must be a madman. Only someone insane could have committed such murders." Dupin smiled faintly. "Ah, but madmen are still human. They come from some country, and their cries, however terrible, are still made of words. Some of those words can usually be understood. Now, look at this hair I took from the fingers of the old woman. Does this look like the hair of a madman?" Dupin handed me the hair. When I touched it and saw it clearly, I couldn't believe it. "Dupin, what is this? This hair is... it's not human." "Exactly. I only said it was hair. Now, look at this picture. It shows the marks on the daughter's neck. The doctors said these marks were made by fingers. Let me spread the paper on the table. Try to place your hand over the marks and see if they match." I tried, but my fingers were too small. The marks were huge. "Dupin, these marks couldn't have been made by human hands." "No, they couldn't. I believe they were made by an orangutan. These apes are known for their size, strength, and wildness. The hair and the strange noises fit this theory as well. But what about the second voice? We know it belonged to a French-speaking man. He only said 2 words, mon Dieu. Who could that have been?" "Those words mean my God in French," I said. "He must have been horrified." "Could he have been helping the orangutan?" "I doubt it," Dupin replied. "More likely, he was its owner. Perhaps the orangutan escaped, and the man followed it to the Rue Morgue, but failed to catch it in time." "Is this the person we are waiting for, Dupin? How did you find him?" Dupin smiled. "I placed an ad in the newspaper. Here, read it." I took the paper and read. "Caught. Early in the morning of the 7th of this month. A very large orangutan. The owner, known to be a sailor, may reclaim the animal if he can prove it is his." "But Dupin, how can you know the owner is a sailor?" "I don't know for sure. It's just a strong guess. A sailor would know how to climb the pole on the side of the house. Sailors also travel to distant lands, where they might acquire an orangutan. The animal would be valuable, so the sailor would want it back. Knock on door. Ah, here he is now, Dupin said. Let's find out the truth. The door opened slowly, and a man stood before us. He was a sailor. He spoke in French. Bonsoir. Good evening, Dupin replied. I assume you are here about the orangutan. Yes, is it here? No, not here. But if you can prove it is yours. Of course, I can prove it. It's a shame, Dupin said. The animal must be very valuable. Yes, I want it back. I'll pay you for finding it. Name your price. Money is not what I want, Dupin said. My price is the truth. Tell me everything you know about the murders in the Rue Morgue. The sailor's face turned red. He stood up suddenly, but then sat back down, trembling. He looked pale and closed his eyes. Dupin spoke gently. There's no need to be afraid. We know you didn't commit the murders, but you do know something about them. You've done nothing wrong except staying silent. It's time to tell the truth. The sailor took a deep breath. So help me God, I'll tell you everything. About a year ago, my ship sailed to Borneo. My friend and I explored the jungle, and we caught an orangutan. We brought it back to Paris. But my friend died during the journey, so the orangutan became mine. I kept it in a cage in my house and planned to sell it soon. One night, the animal escaped. It somehow got out of its cage and grabbed a knife. It didn't understand what it was doing. It was just playing with it. When it saw me, it ran out of the house. I chased after it. The orangutan ran several blocks and climbed a pole up the side of a house. I followed because I'm a sailor and climbing is easy for me. The animal jumped through an open window. I couldn't follow it, but I could see through another closed window. Inside, I saw two women looking at papers on the floor. The orangutan made a noise, and the older woman turned to look. That's when it attacked. It was horrible. The two women were killed, and the room was a mess. Then, the animal shoved the younger woman's body up the chimney. It picked up the older woman's body and threw it out the window. I realized I needed to get away. I climbed down the pole and ran. I didn't look back. Oh, mon Dieu, mon Dieu. The Paris police didn't charge the sailor. They said his only crime was keeping quiet, which wasn't illegal. However, the police chief was angry with Dupin. He didn't like that Dupin had solved the case instead of his officers. Let him complain, Dupin said. Maybe he'll learn something. Perhaps next time he won't say not possible about things that clearly are.